Hi, Kenny. Good afternoon. Could you tell us maybe a little bit about who you are and what you do for a living?
Yeah, Kenny Baas-Schwegler, Schwegler, Schwegger, it's always hard to pronounce depending on the country you live in. But when I was young, I was sitting around the table with my parents and we did this telephone game, right? Talking to each other, and the story got more incomplete the more it got handed over. And going into software delivery as a software engineer now, I see the same happening. So I see that loss of knowledge because of the telephone game in confusing communication, not having a shared language, this discussion complexity without visualization, and especially not leveraging the full potential wisdom of the diversity of the people. So that's what I'm doing now in daily life. I do that on management level, but also in team level, uh, mostly, of course, in software. So you, Evelyn, how about you?
Well, you know me already. You're one of my closest colleagues. I'm Evelyn Van Kelle, which is also a very Dutch name. And my official title is a strategic software delivery consultant, and I work for Xebia. And I have a very huge passion for socio-technical systems. And I'm also a very big nerd when it comes to cognitive bias and heuristics. So I'm always looking for them, both in my work and personal life, seeing where we can find them, how we can benefit from them, and when we should try to avoid them. That's an ongoing search for me, and I really enjoy that. So that will also be part of our talk at FlowCon. But Kenny, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about what we will be talking about in our session.
Yeah, I already talked about these handovers and these confusing communication and leveraging the full potential and wisdom of the diversity of the people. And that's what we're mostly gonna talk about, right? Ranking, biases, and that impacts the full potential, because you can imagine if people don't feel psychological safe, or they don't speak up, or they don't share their perceptions, and that can be due to ranking. It can also be someone shutting you up, but also you shutting yourself up because you think you're of a lower rank. Or, of course, because of biases, we think we know the answer but stop asking questions. These things make sure that we don't see the full potential of the group. And by using techniques like deep democracy, for instance, and being aware of these things, will make you design better models for your software. Because building great software, I'm a DDD practitioner, as you can see already a bit from my shirt, it's really important to get all these insights, and these insights are necessary to get the best possible model for software as needed and get those best ideas out.
Yeah, that sounds good. Thinking about that, what would make you say "wow" at the end of this conference?
Yeah, first, of course, see a lot of cats in the slides. We're a big fan of cats. But the second one, I like personal stories, and not even stories related to the IT, but maybe stories from outside the IT that represents certain stories inside the IT. I'm a big fan of two anthropologists in the Netherlands, Jitske and Danielle Brown, and they always tell these stories from outside the office and then take it back in and then show personal failure and vulnerability. And I can learn a lot from that, because that's different, because a tool or technique or a practice I can just read up on the internet, but these personal connections are really important to me. So,
Yeah.
Evelyn, what will make you think the attendees have learned during, well, our session?
Well, I would say that they learned a lot. Well, first of all, obviously, when they added a cat into their next presentation or the next slide deck, and we will give the right example there, obviously. But also, what would make me very happy is when people start to looking for polarities to manage instead of problems to solve. And we will elaborate on that in the talk itself. But it mainly comes down to when they start moving from either or thinking to both and thinking, and that would be very valuable when that happens. That's one of our goals there. And it would also be great, of course, when we could all get a little bit more awareness around ranking and cognitive biases that are going on, and also how that has been affecting our architectures and our decision-making processes. Because, well, spoiler alert, they are very much and very heavily affecting these processes that we are going through. And then obviously it would be very helpful if we could start anticipating on this from now on. So that requires a different way of thinking. It requires a lot of experimenting. So luckily, Kenny, you and I will provide the audience with lots of tips, tricks, and tools to start this adventure. So it would make me very happy if we could give people some really actionable advice on where to go after this session.
Good. So any questions that are left unanswered or that the FlowCon people didn't ask?
Well, we missed the most important question. Show us a picture of your cats and their names, obviously, because we made them very famous in our presentation last year. But no worries, we will add our new favorite pictures to our talk, and well, everyone will get the chance to see them. But of course, you will have to join our session in November. So we are hoping to see all of you there.
Yeah, hope to see you there.
Yes, thanks.
Bye bye.